Use the initial notification letter that you received in the mail to register for a TAP account. You will need your Montana account ID and a taxpayer identification number or an FEIN for the account. These numbers can be found on the initial notification letter you received from the Department of Revenue. Begin by navigating to the web address found on your letter, https://tap.dor.mt.gov. Then, on the TAP homepage, click on the Sign Up Now button. This will take you to the account access screen on the TAP Sign Up Now page. On the account access screen, click on the Business button if your letter contains an FEIN. Once you have clicked on the Business button, choose Industrial Property Reporting from the drop-down menu named What type of account would you like to gain access? After making your selection, click on the Next button. You will be directed to the account verification screen on the TAP Sign Up Now page. On the account verification screen, enter the Industrial Property Reporting account information, including account ID, country, and FEIN. You can find this information on your initial notification letter. Then click on the Next button. You will be directed to the Personal Information screen on the TAP Sign Up Now page. On the Personal Information screen, enter your profile information, including your full name, email address, contact phone number, and an optional alternate phone number. Finally, if you prefer to receive authentication information by text message rather than email, use the country of your phone number drop-down menu along with the cellular service provider menu before entering your phone number for receiving text messages. Note, you will receive an authentication code via email or text message if chosen, which you will use to verify your account when you log in for the first time. Click on the Next button. Next, hit the OK button. Once you have created your TAP account, return to the TAP homepage at https://tap.dor.mt.gov and enter your username and password in the Login to TAP area. Then click on the Login button. You will be directed to the authentication page. In the authentication code field, enter the authentication code you received in the confirmation email or text message sent when creating your TAP account. Click on the No or Yes button in response to the Trust this browser statement. Note, if you choose No for the trusted browser, you will be required to enter an authentication code each time you log in. Then click on the Login button. You should now be on the home page of your TAP account. To view or report your industrial property, click on the View My Accounts link. This will display your industrial property reporting. Click on Industrial Property Reporting hyperlink. Under the Periods tab on the Industrial Property Reporting page, select the File Return link in the Period table. You will be directed to the Requirements screen. Read the general information regarding reporting. At the end of the information, check the box to verify you have read and understand this process. Then click on the Next button. You will be directed to the Registration Information screen. Review your registration information, parent company, contact, and address information. Verify your contact and mailing address. Any other required information must be entered before moving on to the next step. Change your contact information or mailing address, you must check the appropriate box in the address information area of the page. When finished reviewing information and making any updates, click on the Next button. You will be directed to the Property Summary table. Review your property ID, plant name, and physical address in the table. You can add, delete, or make any changes to your property locations. If you need to make a change to a property ID, click on the property number link in the first column of the table. A properties dialog box will open, including a set of options for the selected property. Check the update box and then make your updates as needed. Click on the OK button when finished to save your changes and close the dialog box. You will be directed back to the property screen. If you need to add a new property location, click on the Add a Property link in the Property ID column of the table. A Properties dialog box will open, including a set of options for the new property. Fill in the required information. Then click on the Add button to add the property and close the dialog box. Any errors are noted in red below the table of property IDs. Errors must be corrected before moving on to the next step. You will notice there is not a property number attributed to the new property yet. A temporary property ID number will be assigned once you have completed all changes on this screen. To delete a property, select the desired property ID. Check the Delete This Property box and click OK. Note, when you delete a property, all the associated assets will be marked as deleted. Remember to edit assets in steps 3 through 7 if you would like to associate the deleted assets with a different property. Otherwise, any assets marked as deleted will be permanently deleted when you file your return. When viewing an equipment table, you can use the filter box located above the table to search for a specific piece of equipment using the information associated with the equipment, like year new or year acquired. Click into the filter box and type what you wish to search on. Hit the Enter key when finished. The table will filter to display only the equipment matching your search criteria. Clear the filter box and hit the Enter key to remove the search filter and display the entire table again. You can also sort the table by clicking on any of the column headers. For example, year acquired. Clicking on the header once will sort that column in ascending order. Clicking on the header again will sort in descending order. Clicking on the header a third time will remove the sort. Once you've finished updating your property locations and they are correct to the best of your knowledge, click the Reviewed box. Then click on the Next button to continue. If you are interested in using the Export to Excel feature for filing your reporting form, please see the Import-Export tutorial by selecting Help in the menu bar. Next, you will see 7 steps, each with a red symbol with an exclamation mark. Each step will need to be reviewed. This is where you will indicate any additions, deletions, or changes to your business equipment. Please review step 1. Select the General Ledger Accounts link. You will see that there is a separate link for each property associated with your company. To complete the General Ledger, select the General Ledger link that you would like to complete. Enter the undepreciated costs from your prior year and current year balance sheets in the correct columns. Please include all non-current assets and materials and supplies from the current assets account of your balance sheet. Finally, enter the net book costs less book depreciation of your assets amount also from your balance sheet. Click on the OK button when finished. Mark the checkbox stating that you have reviewed all the properties in the table and click on the OK button. For step 2, you will update any building and site improvements, if applicable, to your industrial property. These are projects that have been completed in the previous tax year and are not part of your current construction work in progress account that was updated in step 1. Within the dialog box, click on Add a Record. Next, complete all the required information within the dialog box. Click the Add button when finished. Once completed, check the box and click on the OK button. For steps 3 through 7, a dialog box table will open displaying the equipment that has been reported in the prior year. Select the furniture and fixtures. If you need to make a change to information for an existing piece of equipment, click on the Property ID link in the table to open a dialog box including options for the equipment that you selected. Check the Update Asset information box and then make the needed changes. Click on the OK button to save the changes and close the dialog box. If an asset no longer exists, select the Delete this asset checkbox. Then click the OK button to delete any equipment record and close the dialog box. If you need to transfer a piece of equipment from one property ID to another, click on the Property ID link in the table to open a dialog box, including options for the equipment that you have selected. Check the Transfer to Another Property box. Choose the appropriate property ID from the Property ID drop-down menu. Click on the OK button to save the changes and close the dialog box. If you need to add a piece of equipment, scroll to the bottom of the equipment table and click on the Add an Asset link. In the dialog box, enter the required information. Then, click on the Add button to save your work and close the dialog box. Check the box and click on the OK button to save your work and close the Furniture and Fixtures table. Repeat this process for steps 4 through 7. If you intend to attach a document, please provide additional information for your appraisal such as income and expense information, comparable sales, fee appraisal, and any other additional information. Select the Add button. The Select a File to Attach dialog box will open. Enter a brief description and browse for the desired document and click Save. The uploaded document is now shown under the Attachments tab. To move on, click the Next button. You will be directed to the Perparer screen. Enter the Perparer information, including Prepared by and Preparer's phone number, and check the Disclosure Statement checkbox. Click on the Submit button when finished. A dialog box will open requiring you to enter your account password. Enter your password to serve as your electronic signature and click on the OK button. You will be directed to the confirmation page. On the confirmation page, you can click on the Printable View button to display a PDF copy for your records. When finished, click on the OK button to return to your TAP account. You will be directed to the TAP homepage. After you submit your return, you have until 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on that day to make any corrections or withdraw your return before it is officially processed by the Department of Revenue. If you need to make a change or withdraw, click the date under the Periods tab for the account in the IPR Accounts table on your TAP homepage. Then click the Industrial Property Reporting Form link. From there, you can choose View, Print, Edit, or Delete Submission. When you have finished industrial property reporting for your account, click on the Log Off link at the upper right of the home page to exit. Click on the Yes button in the next dialog box. Note, any unsaved work will be lost. Thank you for completing this video. If you have any further questions, please call us at 1-406-444-6900. Thank you.